There's a weird thing people do when they don't want to get rejected. They pretend they don't have preferences at all. They'll want something very specific, very clear, and then say, I don't know, whatever you want. That's not being chill. That's a pre-rejection. You reject yourself before anyone else gets the chance to do it. And the worst part? It works. That's why almost everyone is doing it, all the time, without noticing. Picture this. Someone asks what you want for dinner. You know. You've known since 2 p.m. You check the menu. Twice. You even have a backup order. There's a specific place, a specific dish. You can picture it. But what you say is, I don't know, you pick. And then they pick something. And some small part of you goes, not that. And you still say, yeah, that's fine. Which actually means, I will eat this, but I will remember this. Or someone asks how you're doing. You know how you're doing. You've been thinking about it for hours. The feeling is sitting right there. It's sitting right there. You just don't say it. And what comes out is, I mean, I don't know, it's fine, whatever. Or, and this one's the most revealing. You spend 25 minutes typing a message to someone you care about. You say exactly what you mean. It's honest, specific, clear. You read it again, fix the tone, delete one sentence, add it back, delete it again, and then you delete it and send LOL like a hostage. Some people are so good at this, they can sit in a group deciding something, have a very strong opinion, say absolutely nothing, and then feel slightly resentful for a decision they helped create. Not because you didn't know what you wanted to say, because you knew exactly what you wanted to say. So what's actually happening? When you say what you want clearly, you create a target. And targets can be missed, or ignored, or worse, acknowledged and then not chosen, or met with a face that does something you didn't want it to do. Vagueness is not confusion. Vagueness is rejection control. You're not protecting yourself from not knowing. You're protecting yourself from knowing, saying it out loud, and then watching someone not care. So instead, no target, no miss, no proof that what you wanted didn't matter. There's a concept in psychology called self-concealment. It's not just hiding from others. It's managing the distance between what you want and what you'll admit to wanting. Because the smaller that gap, the more you can get hurt. Think about it. If you say, I want to go to that place, and they say no, that's a real rejection. That stings. If you say, I don't know, whatever, and they pick wrong, you get to be privately disappointed. But technically nothing happened. No target, no miss, no evidence that your preferences didn't matter. It's a brilliant system. It is also costing you a lot. The first thing it costs is being known. Not in a dramatic way, just nobody actually knows what you like, what you want, what would make you feel seen. Because you've never told them. You've agreed. You've deflected. You've said, I'm easy. You're not easy. You're just pre-disappointed. Which, again, is being said by people with extremely specific opinions about almost everything. And then something weird starts to happen in relationships. When nobody's saying what they actually want, both people start filling in the blanks. They build a version of you from context clues, from what you've never complained about, from what you silently went along with. And slowly, very quietly, you end up inside a version of your life that fits the person they assumed you were, not the one you are. And the tricky part, from the outside, nothing went wrong. Nobody lied. Nobody fought. Nobody did anything bad. It's all technically fine. It just isn't quite right. In a way that's hard to name. In a way that hums quietly in the background, like a sound you stopped noticing months ago. Here's what nobody talks about. Vagueness feels like flexibility. It feels like being low maintenance, easygoing, not a burden. But there's a specific type of loneliness that comes from being in a room full of people who genuinely care about you and knowing that none of them know what you actually want. Not because you haven't been asked, because you've been answering wrong on purpose. There is a version of you walking around being extremely agreeable and slowly becoming invisible, and privately, quietly, slightly starving. And the really dark part, after enough time, saying what you want out loud starts to feel wrong. Too loud, too much, too needy, even though you're just a person who has preferences, like every other person who has ever existed. Clarity started to feel like a risk, and then vagueness started to feel like your personality. It's not hard to understand how this happens. You say what you want once, it doesn't land well, or it gets ignored, or the other person's face does something, and your brain files that away. Being clear about what I want has a cost. So next time you soften it, then you omit it, then you stop saying it at all. And then at some point you start saying I don't know with such convincing ease that other people believe it. And then eventually you do too. If this felt a little too familiar, you probably know what you want more than you think.